Hey, happy new moon in Cancer. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. If we haven't connected before, my name's Bree. I'm an intuitive channel. I love to connect with the moon and channel energies, and more importantly, tell you how it impacts you and what you can expect with all of the crazy things that you're feeling astrologically. The beautiful thing about astrology that I've heard many times before, and I keep coming back to, is whether you believe it or not, whether you believe it's real or you believe it's just nonsense, it's happening. It's happening whether you're aware of it or not. And I often find the awareness of it is really validating. Makes you feel like you're a little bit less crazy. This particular transit, well, there's a lot of transits, but particularly we'll just focus on this new moon. It actually peaked this morning of the day that I'm recording this, which is Tuesday, the 14th of July. It was heavy. It's been a really heavy energy. Um, Usually I record these like 4 days before the actual transit, but this energy, and for multiple people I've talked to, has really, for a lot of us, felt like I've heard it described as you get thrown into the deep end of the pool without water wings, and you are just like drowning. There's so much just heaviness here with this transit. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's a beautiful opportunity, really. It's important to look at everything that's coming up for you as it's happening for you. There's an opportunity here, but that doesn't mean it's still not hard, right? I personally have a Cancer stellium. So my three of my personal planets and Lilith for me are all in Cancer. And so it's been a challenging couple days. And I felt really called to just come on here because I was struggling with just the energy of being able to record this. Um, and just share what I've been experiencing with this, and how I'm moving through it. I love to usually come on and talk about the planets and all the things that are shaking and moving behind the scenes. And there's so I could probably do 2 hours alone on all of the transits and like Barbell's basket, like so many things. And you go onto any social media right now and it's all a buzz because this is one of the crunchiest and busiest months of the year, really. July right now, it's a lot. And I don't really feel called to talk about that. So, what I do want to talk about is how we can move through the heavy. We spend so much time focusing on raising our vibration, connecting to source, spiritual awakenings, chakras, like all of the high vibrational sort of like activities and things we can do. And there can be a bit of spiritual bypassing that happens when it comes to the heavier things. And again, like Cancer is the mother, it's nurturing and sweet and emotions. And anyone that has Cancer friends, like we are usually quite lovely at making everyone feel loved. And Cancer is very sensitive and intuitive, and it can be so beautiful. But there's depth there. I've heard Cancer described as the ocean before, and I think that's a beautiful analogy. That when it's calm, it's beautiful and just like so nurturing and life giving. But there's depth there. Cancer is ruled by the moon, don't forget. And so the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. And so that can be a very difficult energy to work with. It can bring up a lot of things. This particular transit for me has felt a lot of, it's like we're going into the depths and we're taking a look at the things that we're kind of hoping would stay down there. So a lot of like old stories, old narratives for me personally are coming to the surface. And it's not in a way that's, you know, like problematic. It's just heavy. It's just a heavy energy. There's a density here. And this transit just feels like it's allowing you to clean house. new moons are like new beginnings. Often we manifest on a new moon, we're planting seeds. And so it's interesting because the last reading I did, we're talking a lot about like building the house, right? Like that was the full moon in Capricorn. It was like, what are you building? And like, is it sustainable? That kind of energy. And this one's like, oh great, okay, like you've built it, but like, did you excavate the land first? Like, oh, there's some things here we should maybe not be bringing into this new home that we're building. And so I just want to share with you that it's okay. It's okay if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling exhausted, burnt out, if you're feeling like all you want to do today is just like breathe. That's okay. It's okay. You're exactly where you need to be right now. This energy is heavy. It is heavy. It is dense. It is. I saw this hilarious reel last night and it was like, does anyone actually enjoy cancer season? And I really felt that in my bones because one of the comments was talking about like, it's like that PE teacher that like forces you to participate that you hate. I was like, that's what, and I'm a cancer son. Like I usually love the cancer things. Um, it's challenging though. And so, what do we do when we're sitting in this energy? What do we do when we're feeling this density and really struggling? And the number one thing that keeps coming to me, especially over the last 2 days, I have had multiple just like lying on the floor, surrendering, crying moments. And it's just surrender. It's just surrender. Lean into it. Allow yourself to crumple, to break open, to just I'm getting a lot of this energy. I'm getting like chills as I'm talking that we're shedding. We're going through a massive period of transition right now, collectively and individually. And the person you were before is no longer serving you. This new shift, this like paradigm shift we're moving towards is calling for just a different version of you. And so this moon is giving us an opportunity to just dissolve. And it's uncomfortable. It's like that, very used analogy of the caterpillar, how a caterpillar needs to dissolve into goo before it becomes a butterfly. We're in the dissolving part right now. And it's not a lot of fun here. It's not really fun. But can you allow yourself to soften into it? To just, it's like when I say surrender, it's like you're thrashing around in the deep end of the pool without your water wings. You're just going to let yourself submerge. And then from there, once you submerge, I'm getting this analogy that like you suddenly realize you can breathe underwater. You're like, oh, okay, this is different. I'm used to breathing air, but I can do this. Let's figure this out, right? That's the energy that we're really being called to embody right now. And so when you feel this oppression, when you feel this heaviness and you feel this wallowing, the fastest way to move it is to go through it. The more you resist it, the more it's just gonna kind of hang out there. And then like if we suppress it, it'll come back again for you to eventually deal with. And so what I have found really helpful is just how far can you fully lean into it and just let yourself dissolve, let yourself break open, let all of those emotions out, have a good ugly cry, and then let it move. Because by crying, we're releasing it. We're releasing that energy. We're allowing it to move. And then, you can slowly feel like a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. And now over the next couple of days, we should start to feel that energy ease a little bit. Just be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself right now. And trust that you're feeling this way for a reason. These things are coming up for you. Again, as I mentioned, so many people that I've been talking to are having the same experience that I have, which is why I felt so compelled to come on and share. It's so interesting because typically, this is energy, like when we're having these like mentee be moments, we tend not to share them with others. We tend to just sort of, go into like our little hermity caves and deal with them on our own. And that's not what this energy is showing me, that it's okay for us to share and talk about, and to really like support each other in community, and knowing that like we're all going through this on different levels. We're all feeling this right now. So that's the first thing I wanted to say about this very heavy energy. I'm going to pull some cards and we will see what comes through here. And yeah, kind of go from there. Okay. This is my deck, the Crossroads Oracle. See what cards wants to come through. This new moon and Cancer energy that we're sitting in right now. I think the most important thing to remember with this is there's nothing wrong. Like I can feel my own energy right now. And for those of you that know me, it feels very low. My energy is very low right now. And I can feel that density. And that's okay. That's okay. It's not going to last forever. Oh, there we go. Got some jumpers. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to stay like this forever. This is just for right now. Hold that thought. I got to pick up the card that fell. And, ultimately, when you feel into this energy of like where you're sitting in this density, I did very much get the message. Oh, my kitty's down here. I got the message while I was working through a lot of this like really dense energy, especially yesterday. There is an element of choice here. There's an element of like you are creating your own reality. And yes, this, density and like grief and all of these like intense lower vibrational emotions are coming up for you to, release and to work through. But you can choose to not stay there. You can choose to still connect to those like little glimmers of magic in the world around you. I had so many opportunities over the last couple days where I've been like just so deep in my like grief and my feelings and just kind of like wallowing. It's like that like downward spiral. And I miss the signs. Like one of them, for example, is like in the morning, my boyfriend gets me coffee from McDonald's every morning. We love him. And it like McDonald's gives you like a little sticker with the number. Still in my fields this morning. And every morning I usually like glance at the number to see if it's like a cool like spirit number or something that just brings me joy. And I didn't this morning. Again, we're deep in our fields. And I go to throw out the coffee cup and I look in the garbage and his is already down there in the garbage and it's 888. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the one morning I didn't look and it's 888. Just like for me, a message of like abundance and magical things. And it was like, oh, okay, there we go. And there's just like been multiple examples over the last like 48 hours for me of like, hey, like, don't forget, like, you're still so connected to the world around you. There's so much magic here. And yes, like we've come to this reality to have a human experience. And part of that is not just the good things. It's not just like love and light and, all the best emotions. It's the duality of like, can you hold both? As amazing and wonderfully beautiful as life can be, can you also hold how incredibly complex and dense and heavy and challenging life can be? And both are true at the same time. But it's so important to not let yourself get caught up in one or the other, because the opposite is also dangerous. People that just sort of live in this like state of disconnect, where they're disassociating from their reality and just not feeling the things, and just almost like in a state of like delusion where they're just like, oh no, like everything's fine, it's good. Oh, someone died, that's okay, is what it is. That one drives me crazy. I'm like, no, feel it, feel that grief, it's okay. You're like, cultivate a life for yourself where you feel safe enough to be able to have those emotional experiences and to be able to feel the feelings. That's so important. Anyways, rambling aside, I got the card off the floor. Um, very accurate. The underworld. This is kind of where we are right now. We're in the underworld. And, again, Cancer is this beautiful, like mothering archetype. And everyone thinks Scorpio is the sign that really deals with like death and rebirth and transformation and Pluto. And it very much is, but it's a different kind of death. I've heard it described before as like Scorpio deals with like death as like transformation. But Cancer is very much like the death and ancestry, right? So it's like the emotions around death, the grief of death. It's like physical death is very much what Cancer governs for me. And I think that that's so beautiful. It's incredibly difficult, but I do feel that this is so important for us. And as we move through this energy, on the other side of this is such powerful transformation, such powerful transformation. But like, can we learn to breathe underwater? Everything that's coming forward for us right now is it's like it's an opportunity. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. And so it's learning to stop fighting, surrender, and just allow yourself to open is really the message that's coming through with that. Okay, let's pull another one. We'll see what else is going to come through here. The underworld gets a bit of a bad reputation, but I do very much feel that the underworld is that place of transformation. In theory, if you look at like what purpose does the underworld have, it's like, well, we die from this physical reality, we move on to the underworld, and from there we're transformed and we start our new life, or go on to whatever is next for us from here. And it's in that place that the transformation happens. And so right now I can kind of see this as almost like a portal where it's like our old versions of ourselves have died, and now we're going through this underworld, and it's heavy. It is really heavy, but on the other side is so much transformation. And this next card I got, beautiful, it's the spider. Now the spider for me she's about creation, but it's more than that. It's like creative life force. The spider in nature just spins the web every day, regardless of if anyone notices it, thinks it's beautiful. If the wind destroys it or the rain comes, it doesn't matter. She just spins it again the next day and the next day. And if you've ever taken the time to really look at a spider's web, they are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous works of art. But for the spider, it's literally tied to her survival. That mechanism of creation, like creating this beautiful art every single day, is tied to like whether she lives or not, whether or not she's able to eat. And I really see this card as like your life force is tied to your ability to create. What brings you joy, right? What lights you up? What are you doing in your life that brings you that creative life force where you feel just so full of like joy and lit up, and you're just creating it for the sake of creation, and not because you feel you need to, or anyone's going to see it, or like any kind of validation or anything like that. You're just creating for the sake of creating because it brings you joy, because it lights you up. This can be an invitation to take a look at how much content you consume versus how much you create. We often are very quick to be like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to do that project or whatever. Like, how much time are we spending on our phones? And I get it. It's a great way to decompress. And I think we need that time to just kind of zone out and scroll. But like, check your screen time. How much time are you actually spending consuming versus how much are you spending creating? Because there's a huge message here around the importance of giving yourself the time to create, so that there's like a feedback loop that happens with your life force. The more that you give of your life force into creation, the more that's returned to you. It's like this beautiful little loop I'm seeing. So it's very important. Okay, let's do one more here. Of course. Thought this one might come through. Okay, no one's surprised. This serpent, we're shedding. We are shedding. What's interesting is this card is, it's about releasing. It's about obviously like shedding. It's also about, in the shadow, it can be like holding on to something too tightly that's no longer meant for you. And, you know, if anyone's ever worked with reptiles, if a reptile doesn't shed its skin, it can be life-threatening. It can be fatal. You know, like for like oftentimes like bearded dragons, for example, they can go blind and lose their eye if they're not able to shed the skin off of their eye. It can be incredibly dangerous, and it can truly be life-threatening if they do not shed that skin. And so this can happen if they're kept in improper environments where like the humidity isn't right and all of these things. But the same analogy is true for us. If you are holding on to something so tightly and it is really, truly no longer meant for you, it can start to smother your light, smother your life force. And the message I'm very much getting here is, you know, take a look at your, first of all, like your fourth house. What planets, what sign rules your fourth house if you're into astrology? Those themes are coming up for you right now, for sure. But furthermore, like Cancer in general is also about the home, right? Your family, like your nuclear family, your family of origin, emotions, right? So what's coming up for you in your home? You know, are there versions of you? Cancer is also the mother. It's like, where are we over giving? Where are there things out of balance that you know are just no longer in alignment for you anymore, but you hold on to them for, like, we do it for multiple different reasons, but why are you holding on to it, right? Oftentimes there can be so much grief around endings and wanting to still be the version of you that you were when you were wearing that skin. And so holding on to that because you're not ready to let go. But in order for that new chapter to begin, there's so much growth and expansion that's coming. You can feel it. It's like sitting in a pressure cooker right now. And I like, simultaneously, it feels incredibly heavy and dense and stifling, and also incredibly exciting and like liberating and truly duality. Like it's been very interesting energy to be sitting in right now. And so I am so excited for what's coming, but it's also scary. It's asking you to jump out of the airplane and trust that there's going to be a parachute that appears. But in order to get to that place, you know, we need to let go of everything that's holding us back, or that plane's not even getting off the ground, right? If you have all of these things holding you back from this next version of yourself, like the plane's not going to be able to get up in the sky for you to jump out of and have this like amazing this amazing like new life that's coming for you. So you got to shed it. You got to let it go. You know, anytime we have really challenging transits like this, I like to try and remind myself that it truly is happening for you. It really is. It's a gift. It's like, hey, here's an opportunity to get rid of like a ton of baggage for you. The plane's weighed down. So if you want this next, if you want to get on this and get on this next new adventure that's coming, you got to let go of some of the baggage. Like, here's an opportunity to just like break open and leave some of your baggage behind. And that very much is the energy of this new moon. So again, just to reiterate, be kind to yourself. Be kind. If you have water around you, that's something that some people I've been talking to everyone's been like kind of drawn to water with this transit. I myself live near a lot of the Great Lakes. And so I have, just naturally found myself spending a lot of time around water. So just go for a walk on the beach, go for a walk near a creek, just really take some time to ground, take deep breaths, and allow yourself to feel the feelings and allow them to move, send them off with love, and then allow yourself to heal is the other message that's coming through. Allow yourself to heal, because on the other side of this is so much expansion. And even though we feel a little raw right now, there is just so much expansion and like light and abundance that's coming on the other side of this. We just have to kind of get through this right now. And we do it not by, like tenacity and like buckling down and just getting through it. It's actually by softening. It's by softening and fully surrendering into this energy and allowing ourselves to softly open, that we're going to be able to move through it. So I am sending you so much love, and I hope that this transit has been kind to you. And I can't wait to see what is on the other side and what comes through in 2 weeks for our full moon reading. So I will see you then.